Welcome back, my little graveyard ghosts. It's always a pleasure to see you return. And if you did, take a second to subscribe and claim your tombstone in the graveyard and turn on all notifications to be summoned for new ritual pastas. Now, let's begin tonight's story. The tarot is a recognized instrument of divination, and it plays an important role in the practice of many witches. With the neo-paganism and modern witchcraft movement on the rise, it is only adding up to its original power. In the mind of the common folk, tarot is a means of devil worshipping and a tool for future telling. To the modern witchcraft practitioner, it is an instrument of self-awareness and personal growth. But very few are aware of the exact origin of the cards and how they got their seemingly mystical power. In this series, I am going to describe to you how the tarot cards got their power and the stories behind each character. Because beyond its divinatory properties, the tarot offers a plethora of options for making your dreams come true. Starting with the first major arcana card of the deck, known as card 0, our journey begins with the Fool. The Fool is the archetype of the innocent, the beginner, the child, full of vitality and with an insatiable thirst for knowledge and adventure. And this is his story. The Fool is said to have been a free spirit, an outcast even, coming from a good family, someone who's never fit in, however, and therefore has chosen to leave and find their place in the world. On his way, he encounters a thief, whom the naive and inexperienced Fool asked for directions. The thief asks the Fool where he is headed, to which the Fool replies that he is looking for knowledge and adventure. Noticing that the Fool is fairly well dressed, and assuming he might find something of value in his small baggage, the thief tricks the young Fool to strip his clothes and jump off a cliff into the waves of the sea to test his courage and dedication to his quest. In return, he promises to teach the Fool a valuable lesson to his journey. Excited about the prospect of gaining information for such a seemingly small price, the Fool doesn't think twice and proceeds to discard his clothes and goods and plunges into the foamy waters. As he does, the thief quickly grabs all of his belongings and runs away. Indeed, the thief has kept to his part of the deal and taught the Fool a valuable lesson about trust. But the cost was not one bit fair, as the naive Fool perishes, left at the mercy of the waves. However, his essence and spirit have been trapped inside the first card of the tarot deck, the card that took the Fool's name. And this is how to summon him to ask for help. The Fool requires 4 elements to be summoned. Something to symbolize his well-off material background, like a coin. Something to symbolize his driving life force, knowledge. So a book would work, preferably an adventure book. Something to remind you of the destabilizing force, the thief, so a stolen item would do. And something to remind you of his ending, the ocean, so a bowl of water will work. Set them on the table as follows: the coin to the west, the book to the north, the stolen item to the east, and water to the south. Place the corresponding tarot card in the middle and light a candle on top of it. Stare into the candle flame. Let your eyes go out of focus. You will feel a pressure on your chest and an ever-growing heat in your core. Conversely, your limbs will start feeling ice cold, and when that happens, you will know that the Fool is now present with you in the room. You can ask the Fool any question you want answers to, but of course there is a catch. On certain occasions, the Fool will give out the information you seek freely, but that is most likely because that piece of knowledge you would have been better off not knowing about. Other times, he will ask you to prove your dedication to your goal, much like he had to in his earthly life. In this regard, all I can say is, if the task given seems too easy, you're advised to thank the Fool for the offer, but retract your question and end the ritual right away. You can do that by putting off the candle with the water you brought for the summoning process. I personally know of a case in which the Fool asked the summoner to eat something to give out the answers to his question. Unbeknownst to him, he actually had a severe allergic reaction to that particular food and started suffocating shortly after the Fool offered him the answer. The test you will receive will most likely require you to risk your life, even if it doesn't look like it at first. So please, proceed with caution. As mentioned before, the ritual must be ended, regardless of whether you get answers or not. You can ask the Fool as many questions as you like, obviously expecting a test in return in most cases. You can also summon him as often as you like. However, I do not recommend doing it more than 10 times in your life. The Fool has a history of refusing to leave the summoner's life after a while, no matter if they end the ritual or not. So proceed with caution and think hard about the question you really want answers to so badly before summoning the Fool.